Smith, Stephanie's dad, and I've met a lot of you. I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, Stephanie's and mine both, for this great showing of love of you all coming out to be here with her tonight. It's just been wonderful. That started when she first announced she was sick, and she started getting these cards and stuff, and the mailman couldn't get them all in the box, and it was just unbelievable. But thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoy the evening. I hope you try every Highland beer we've got, as much of it as you want, but too much of it and you're not going to walk out of here. And the food buffet over there is just amazing, so I don't want to take it home with me, that's for sure. So eat it up. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Now we have a couple of presentations to make. Ashley Mag is here from Carolina Day School.
And y'all are going to have to excuse me because I had to bring paper, because sometimes words are very important and I don't trust this old brain, so forgive me. But, you know, Frank has said relationships are important to Stephanie, and I think that's why we're all here, and community is important to Stephanie. I am here representing Carolina Day School. I spent 10 years there working as the Director of Alumni. And for those of you who don't know, Carolina Day is a merged school. In 1987, Asheville Country Day and St. Genevieve's merged to create Carolina Day. And if you can imagine that you went to St. Genevieve's of the Pines, and I know some of you all did, you're merging with your rival school, and to make that even worse, you're merging on their campus. That, you know, we've all got rival schools, so you can imagine that's tough. And so Carolina Day has done a great job trying to embrace the St. Genevieve's alumni and to say, this is your school, we are your place, we have your history. And as much as we wanted to do that, it wasn't going exceptionally well until 2012, and I've got to point out Tish Anderson, who was a teacher at St. Genevieve's, and these two ladies and former head of school, Joe Lally, had an idea. We've got to preserve this history. We can't let it disappear. And so they said, let's create a book. And so we started talking about that, and we said, you know, we need alumni who are engaged, and alumni who understand the love of this school, who are good storytellers, and who can bring it back to life. And so we got all that and more when we brought Stephanie Smith into the room, because she's not only a good storyteller, she had lived the experience of this school, and she brought the talent of the Bride Agency. Now I've got to recognize Kendra, who's here and was an intern working on the project. And so instead of having a book, we ended up with a website that y'all could rival Facebook. And Stephanie had all these interviews talking with alumni and capturing their stories. And she really has created something that's going to have a legacy to keep this school and this love alive for generations to come. So there are times when it's appropriate to say thank you. And so we want to, on behalf of Carolina Day School and these teachers who love you, have an award that we want to present, the Distinguished Alumni Award for Stephanie Smith for Carolina Day.
Thank you, Ashley. Now I want to introduce to you some folks that you probably, most of you have met before. All of you, I would believe without exception, and some of you several times, it says, what can we do? What can we do? And there's not really much you can do. But Stephanie came up with this idea that let's see if we can't do something for the V Foundation. And so we've invited the folks from the V Foundation to be here with us tonight. And we hope we can raise a little money for them. Stephanie and I have already put our name on the dotted line for a major contribution to them. And so Becky Bumgardner, where are you? Here. She's back here. She's the head contribution person for the V Foundation. And then we've got a very special guest here from the V Foundation. This gentleman knows what it's like to throw up a prayer and have it answered. And he certainly did that. That's what the V Foundation's doing. We're taking your money and we're throwing up prayers everywhere we can and hoping that the medical people out there find the answers. But this guy is the consummate. I think he and Doug Flutie will go down in sports history as the two greatest guys throwing up a prayer there ever was. So I'd like to introduce to you Derek Wittenberg.
I'm going to use this old brain. This old brain is like wine. It gets better with age. Stephanie, the V Foundation is about love. That's what Jim Valvano was about. And, you know, it's been 24 years and over $180 million and over 500 grants across the country. Jim showing love to everybody who's fighting this dreaded disease. So we're going to fight for you and we're going to raise money for you. And we're going, as you can see, there's a whole lot of love for you here tonight. So I have a short video for some of you to show you the 30 for 30, the 6-minute version of it. Can we roll it?
Carolina State. Jim Valvano said, I believe in dreams. These Eagles are a team of destiny.
We were pretty calm. The plan was to go out, hold the ball for the last shot.
We're going to run the clock down, and then with 10 seconds left, I'm going to get the ball. I just hit 2 or 3 in a row. I'm ready. I'm hot.
Inbound. The Wolfpack got to the midcourt. The clock is ticking.
We had expected Houston to do exactly what they had been doing, play man-to-man. Well, they come out in a zone, and they're trapping out of the zone. Now we're all screwed up.
It's the half-court trap. Jim Valvano might not have anticipated this.
So now we're passing the ball around. That's when, you know, you start to say, okay, what's going on here?
The ball goes everywhere. It shouldn't go. Twice they almost steal it.
Down to 25 seconds. Dangerous pass.
It just felt like that somehow the ball would get turned over, and I know they were good kids, Houston was, but the bad guy was going to win, the good guys weren't going to get it done.
Remember, they have a key in there to block anything that goes inside. Down to 14 seconds. Oh, almost stole by Drexler. Now 50 goes to Bailey in the corner.
Sid gives that ball to me in the corner. He wants me to shoot it. But I had made a basket in the second half. So I'm looking at Whit, who's a little beyond half court, and I need to get the ball to him.
So he looks and makes that poor fundamental play right there. Cross-court pass. Houston's got all these athletes. Baseball pass to me. And it's Benny Anderson and me at the same time.
I stood up and I thought, ball game. Benny has that pass. He's going to steal it. He's going to, you know, and I was sitting there thinking, what a poetic ending to this season. We're going to win the national championship on a steal out of a trap and a dunk.
Benny Anderson reaches for the basketball with one hand, and I reach with 2. Thank goodness for DeMatha High School and Morgan Wood. To catch the basketball with 2 hands.
Whit has it 30 feet from the basket. And for that one moment, too, I wave my arms. I'm open.
Terry, they all said that you were open over on the right-hand side. Where are you open?
There was a brief moment of an insanity when I actually thought that the guy who got the ball at the top of the key would pass it to me. It quickly went away when I realized it was
Now, I
you.
know that didn't pass to you. I didn't even look your way.
I'm still calling for it.
You know what B said to me?
No, he didn't.
B did say that. He said, I'm glad you didn't pass the ball to Terry because he would have his face.
Never said anything like it.
He would have his face.
5
The trajectory of which shot was right on. But it was, of course, it was short.
And there's a long 3 seconds to go.
I felt like I could go and grab that ball. Because I know it was going to be short. But I was afraid of goaltending or interference.
So everybody stood right there. The only guy that moved was Lorenzo Charles.
They've got to drive to the basket. It's down to 7 seconds. You see the time. Whitburn holds it on.
I go out and grab Lowe by the neck. Man, you did it. We won. He said, man, let go of my neck. I can't breathe.
Fell to my knees. Saw the wave of fans rushing down on the floor. It was magical.
Once it went in, and we're jumping around hugging, Luann Sides, I think that was it, jumped on my back, good looking cheerleader, and who comes and knocks her off the tee and grabs me, and I'm like, why the hell? That was my moment. Finally got a hug. That was our moment. We could have had it later.
I sprinted and got to the center court in Albuquerque, New Mexico, with 50 million people watching me, right, to hug Derek Wittenberg. And for the first time in 10 games, he's hugging someone else. I'm out there all by myself.
He just running around. He was looking to hug somebody. So he got and just jumped on the But after it was so funny. After he said, "Where were you? I was looking for you." I said, "Well, I'm gonna give you a big hug right there."
There was no one shining moment in 1983. There was Jimmy running around the damn floor. And these kids, look at these kids, 30 years, look at what they did.
Have you ever seen more emotion than at the end of this game?
Could this actually have just happened? It was unbelievable. Like when you're trying to give a definition of unbelievable, you say, State beating Houston. That was unbelievable.
If you were a Hollywood guy, and you were writing a script about how it was supposed to end, people wouldn't believe you. And it could end like that. But it did. That was a nice pass at the end of the game.
It was a great pass. That's all I told him to be ready for. I saw Lorenzo open. Rizzo catch it.
That sounds good. He'll put up his shot.
It is a team of destiny. There's no doubt about it. They have 9 lives. They have 100 lives. They're never beaten.
Some writer said it was destiny. Sports Illustrated said it was a miracle. We obviously going to say, hey, we had the courage, we thought we could win this. And our coach said to us that we are going to win the national championship. So it's part us, it's part destiny, it's part miracle. All of the above.
Speaking of love, for 31 years, somebody's been putting up with me. My wife is here, Jacqueline. Where are you? That is the most watched documentary in the world. I said all the NC State fans in the state of North Carolina, everybody was involved in that project. We received the Emmy Award. It was a carrier that came to my door with this big black box, and I thought, oh my God, what did my wife buy? I can't. It's a big gold box, and it's this carrier, and it's an armed guard, and they open it up. It's a big gold Emmy Award for that event, and it was all about love and that team. But if we want to make it in 24 years ago, when Coach Valvano appointed me to this board, grandfathered me in on the Jimmy V board, he wanted to make an impact. You know, he knew that one day he's going to move on, but he wanted his legacy to move on through the V Foundation to help others. So if everybody always asks, what can you do? One thing to do, you can live and empower people, and you can give and get involved in not just the V Foundation, but all organizations that help individuals. And can't say enough. I want to thank Frank and Stephanie for starting that fund at the V Foundation, but more important, putting this together and showing love. What a great community, and you guys are doing some great work. And what Jim would say, he would say, we're doing great right now. We're raising a lot of money. We're making an impact, but we can do more. We can do more. And like I told my wife, you can't, there's so many shoes you can buy, you know. So we got to give to others. Stephanie and Frank, once again, thank you so much. Anytime you need me, I'll be willing to come here and help you guys in any way I can. But we thank you. And listen, let's raise some money. Let's have some fun. Let's drink some beer. Let's drink some wine and go Pack. Go Pack! Now, can we roll it?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's the lowest I've ever seen Dick Vitale since the owner of the Detroit Pistons called him in and told him he should go into broadcasting. Thank you. I can't tell you what an honor it is to even be mentioned in the same breath with an Arthur Ashe. So I'm going to speak longer than anybody else has spoken tonight. That's the way it goes. Time is very precious to me. I don't know how much I have left, and I have some things that I would like to say. Hopefully, at the end, I'll have something that will be important to other people too. But I can't help it. Now I'm fighting cancer. Everybody knows that. And people ask me all the time about how you go through your life and how's your day. And nothing has changed for me, as Dick said. I'm a very emotional, passionate man. I can't help it. That's being the son of Rocco and Angelina Valvano. That just comes with the territory, right? We hug, we kiss, we love. And when people say to me, how do you get through life or each day, it's the same thing. To me, there are three things we all should do every day. We do this every day of our life. You're going to have, what a wonderful, number one is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number two is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number three is you should have your emotions move to tears. It could be happiness or joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day. You do that 7 days a week, you're going to have something special. And so, I can't help. I rode on the plane up today with Mike Krzyzewski, my good friend and a wonderful coach. That people don't realize he's a 10 times better person than he is a coach, and we know he's a great coach. Last 5 or 6 months of my battle. But when I look at Mike, I think we competed against each other as players. I coached against him for 15 years, and I always have to think about what's important in life is to think to me of three things: where you started, where you are, and where you're going to be. Those are the three things that I try and do every day. And, you know, when I think about getting up and giving a speech, I can't help it. I have to remember the first speech I ever gave. I was coaching at Rutgers University. That was my first job. Oh, that's wonderful. And I was the freshman coach. That's when freshmen played on freshman team. And I was so fired up about my first job. And see, Coach Holtz said, what was it like the first job you had, right? The very first time you stood in the locker room to give a pep talk. That's a special place, the locker room, for a coach to give a talk. So my idol as a coach was Vince Lombardi. And I read this book called Commitment to Excellence. by Vince Lombardi. And in the book, Lombardi talked about the first time he spoke before his Green Bay Packer team in a locker room. They were perennial losers. And I'm reading this, and Lombardi said he was thinking it should be a long talk, a short talk, but he wanted to be emotional, he said be brief. And this is what he did. Normally you get in the locker room, I don't know, 25 minutes, a half hour before the team takes the field, you do your little extra note, and you give the great Knute Rockne talk. We all do. Speech number 84, you pull them right out, you get ready, get your squad ready. This is the first one I ever gave. And I read this thing, Lombardi, what he said was, he didn't go in, he waited. His team was wondering, where is he? Where is this great coach? He's not there, 10 minutes, he's still not there. 3 minutes before they take the field, Lombardi comes in, bangs the door open, and I think you all remember what great presence he had, right? Great presence. And he walked in, and he just walked back and forth like this, just walked, staring at the player. And he said, all eyes on me. And I'm reading this in this book. And I'm getting a picture of this Lombardi before his first game. And he said, gentlemen, we will be successful this year. You can focus on 3 things and 3 things only. Your family, your religion, and the Green Bay Packers. And the rest of it, they knocked the walls down, the rest is history. I said, that's beautiful. I'm going to do it. Your family, your religion, and Rutgers basketball. That's it. Listen, I'm 21 years old. The kids I'm coaching are 19, all right? And I'm going to be the greatest coach in the world, the next Lombardi. And I'm ready. And I'm practicing now and I'm right inside the locker room, the manager told me, you got to do it, not yet, family. Rutgers basketball. All eyes on me. I got it. And then finally he said, 3 minutes. I said, fine. True story. I go to knock the doors open, just like Lombardi. Boom! He didn't open. I almost broke my arm. I was like, you know, now I'm bad. The players are looking. You know, coach, help the coach out. Help him up. You know? And now I do like Lombardi. I walk back and forth. Right? And I was going like that. My arm getting feeling back. And finally I said, gentlemen, all eyes on me. These kids wanted to play. They're 19. Let's go. I said, gentlemen, we'll be successful this year if you can focus on 3 things and 3 things only. Then your family, your religion, and the Green Bay Packers. I did that. I remember where I came from. It's so important to know where you are. And I know where I am right now. How do you go from where you are to where you want to be? And I think you have to have an enthusiasm for life. You have to have a dream, a goal. You have to be willing to work for it. I talked about my family. My family is so important. People that I have courage. The courage of my family is my wife, Pam, my 3 daughters, Sierra, Nicole, Jamie, Leanne, my mom, who is right here too. And the screen is flashing up there 30 seconds like I care about that screen right now. I got tumors all over my body. I'm worried about some guy in the back going 30 seconds. Huh? You got a lot of, hey, my mom, everybody. There you go. I just got one last thing. I urge all of you, to enjoy your life, the precious moments you have, to spend each day with some laughter and some thought, to get your emotions going, to be enthusiastic every day. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said, nothing great can be accomplished without enthusiasm, to keep your dreams alive in spite of problems, whatever you have, the ability to be able to work hard for your dreams to come true, become a reality. Now I look at where I am now and I know what I want to do. What I would like to be able to do is to spend whatever time I have left and to give maybe some hope to others. Right? Arthur Ashe Foundation is a wonderful thing. And AIDS, the amount of money pouring in for AIDS is not enough, but it is significant. But if I told you it's 10 times the amount that goes in for cancer research, I'll also tell you that 500,000 people will die this year of cancer. And I'll also tell you that 1 in every 4 will be afflicted with this disease. And yet, somehow, we seem to have put it in a little bit of the background. I want to bring it back on the front table. We need your help. I need your help. We need money for research. It may not save my life. It may save my children's lives. It may save someone you love. And it's very important. And ESPN has been so kind to support me in this endeavor and allow me to announce tonight that with ESPN's support, which means, wow, their money and their dollars, and they're helping me. We are starting the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research. And its motto is, don't give up, don't ever give up. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Every minute that I have left, I will thank God for the day and the moment I have. And if you see me, smile and maybe give me a hug, because that's important to me too. But try, if you can, to support, whether it's AIDS or the Cancer Foundation, so that someone else might survive, might prosper, and might actually be cured of this dreaded disease. I can't thank ESPN enough for allowing this to happen, and I'm going to work as hard as I can, for cancer research, and hopefully maybe we'll have some cures and some breakthroughs, and I'm going to fight my brains out to be back here again next year for the Arthur Ashe recipient. I want to give it next year. I know I've got to go. I've got to go, and I got one last thing. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul. And those three things are going to carry on forever. I thank you, and God bless you all.
I can hardly watch that. I've seen it so many times. But I hope you folks will think about this, and while you're here, Becky, I'm sure, can help you. And even when you get back home, please help the V Foundation. Thank you.